Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over the news that U.S. Representative Republican Randy Feenstra has officially filed to run for Iowa governor in 2026 to succeed Republican Governor Kim Reynolds, who is not seeking a third term. Representative Feenstra, the Republican representing Iowa's 4th District, filed paperwork on Monday to run for governor in 2026. As he officially launches his campaign, he would be the first Republican to announce since Governor Kim Reynolds decided to not seek a third term. Currently, the only Republican officially in the race right now is Brad Sherman, who announced before Reynolds dropped out that he'd be running for the race. At least half a dozen Iowa Republicans have suggested they are considering a run that includes Attorney General Brenna Bird, Secretary of Agriculture Mike Naig, House Speaker Pat Grassley, grandson of state senior U.S. Senator, and Representative Bobby Kaufman, son of the state GOP's chairman. Feenstra has represented Iowa in Congress since defeating Democrat J.D. Scholten in 2020. He won re-election in 2022 and again in 2024. Iowa's 4th District covers the northwest portion of the state, along with the entire western Iowa border. Feenstra's filing comes hours after Rob Sand, Iowa's only statewide elected Democrat, launched the campaign for governor. A former public corruption prosecutor, Sand rose to statewide office when he was elected state auditor in 2018 and re-elected as Iowa's only Democrat statewide in 2022. Iowa Democratic Party Chair Rita Hart criticized Feenstra in a statement, calling him a reliable foot soldier for the misguided partisans and insiders ruining our state. Iowa is now 49th in economic growth and losing manufacturing jobs, while Feenstra has failed to deliver a farm bill, voted to gut Medicaid, and supported Iowa's unaccountable voucher program that's jeopardizing Iowa's fiscal budget. We need a new direction, and Randy Feenstra is just more of the same failed leadership, Hart added. A spokesperson for Feenstra did not immediately respond to a request for comment at this time. First, I'm going to talk about the district he represents before going into the governor's race. So the 4th District up here Feenstra represents is Republican plus 34.4 in 2024. Feenstra won by almost about 35 points. In 2020, it voted for Feenstra by 36.9%. The district, when Iowa was redrawn from 2020 to 2022, Feenstra still won Iowa 4 by 24.2%. In 2018, the Republican king won by 3.3%. And then 2016, King won by 22.6%. So he's held this district for a little bit of a while now, and now he's looking at the 2026 Iowa governor's governor's election. And the Republican, as I mentioned, Brad Sherman, and now Randy Feenstra has filed paperwork. Other Republicans who could be running, there are a number of them. Mike Busala, a state senator, Brenna Bird, the Attorney General of Iowa, is a potential candidate, as well as Pat Grassley, the grandson of the U.S. Senator, Bobby Kaufman, of State Rep, Mike Naig, Iowa Secretary of Agriculture, and Amy Sinclair, President of the Iowa Senate, and former Acting Lieutenant Governor of Iowa. They've all expressed interest, so this Republican primary could get very crowded and very competitive really, really quick, depending on if candidates jump into the race. Right now, though, just looking at the race on the Democratic side of things, Rob Sand, the Iowa Auditor of the State, is the most well-known Democrat at this time. He's likely to be the Democratic nominee in 2026. The Cook Political Report currently has this race listed as lean Republican as of May 12, 2025, following Rob Sand's announcement that he's running. Inside Elections has this race listed as a battleground. Sabado Crystal Ball has it listed as likely Republican. Iowa's elections in recent years have been very interesting. At the presidential level, it's been very solidly likely Republican. 13 points for Trump in 2024, about 8 points for Trump in 2020, and then 9.4% in 2016. On the Senate side of things, it's also been likely Republican, with Grassley winning by 12.2 in 2022. Joni Ernst won by 6.5 in 2020. 2016, Grassley won by a safe margin. Ernst won by a likely margin in 2014. The governor's level, depending on the election, it's been a little bit competitive. 2022, Kim Reynolds won by 18.5%, but Reynolds was elected in 2018, which was the last Democratic midterm wave year we had. Kim Reynolds only won by 2.7%, and that's where things get very, very interesting for the 2026 election. You have the Democrat Rob Sand, who by all accounts is a very strong Democratic candidate, going up against whoever the Republicans nominate. It could be him today. It could be Feenstra. It could be other Republicans. It remains to be seen. Right now in Iowa, the governor's race for 2026, I currently have the state as likely Republican at this time by the thinnest of margins, around 6% of the vote being won by the Republicans. But I think this race could get very close. And as things get closer to Election Day in 2026, if the Democrats are really feeling the momentum of the midterms and President Trump's approval rating continues to go down, I could easily see Iowa going into lean Republican. And I could imagine a scenario where Rob Sand could even flip this race blue. But I think right now it is likely Republican. That's where I have it starting out. But what does Feenstra's candidacy mean for this race? Leave a comment below telling me your thoughts. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. And I hope to see you in a future video.